In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a spherical form which is completely enclosed on the potter's wheel. The reason for doing such a form might be like the shaker here. I make shaker sets that I sell on my Etsy website, and I use rubber stoppers. And the hole has to be very precisely cut, which I will show you in another video. I'll put a link here that you can click on. But the hole has to be correctly sized so the flange will fit inside, and the stopper is somewhat recessed. So as you put the stopper in, the stopper should not be protruding. Again, you can look at another video for how to do that. So I've previously thrown a hollow form, and now I would like to throw another one. The balls of clay are about the same size. You can see how much larger it gets when it is hollow. And it will shrink, of course, but it is significantly larger than my existing one. With the video speeded up, now I am going to show you how I throw that. I am first centering, and then I'm going to open it. I am going to leave a slightly rounded bottom because, again, I'm kind of going for a spherical form, but it doesn't have to be spherical. You can do any sort of enclosed form like this. Now, keep the opening more narrow as you are throwing, because it's, just like if you're doing a vase, you don't want to accidentally make it real wide and then have to bring it back in. So you pretty much do make like a little vase. You collar it in, and remember, every time you collar in, you have to do a compression pull. Now there you can see I inadvertently kind of pulled off the top. So again, I'm just making it as a vase, and then eventually you push it together enough so that it actually touches. And then I'm going to, I just added a little slip, and then I'm going to use a rib, and I will rib it into the form that I really want, which I wanted it a bit more spherical. Trim away some of the excess at the bottom, and that's how you make a spherical form. And here you can see side by side, they're a little bit different in size, but and that's because I pulled off that piece on accident, but it is kind of nice. They don't have to match necessarily. I want to be able to tell the distinction between salt and pepper. You can do that through color, through form, through glaze, all sorts of ways. Check the other video on how to cut stopper holes and the holes in the top. Okay, so now my little enclosed hollow forms are leather hard. I'd like to show you how I go about trimming something like this. Now, I am going to be using my Giffin Grip, which I think is just a wonderful tool because it will hold my piece totally in the center. But the only problem is if I'm doing something that has a totally round top, it does want to tip. So here's my trick when I am throwing something that has a rounded top like that. I always have some minis sitting around my studio. And I do have a video on throwing minis if you'd like to see how I've done that. And I will place my round shaker right in the mini, and I try to make sure that it is nice and flat, so it's not up and down. It's not at a kilter there. Once I do that, then I can go ahead and trim. Now in this case, I am going to leave a bottom which is flat. I'm not going to totally round it, unlike the shaker that I showed you before. It was a little bit more rounded, but I'm going to be putting this on a flat tray, so I do want it to be able to sit and not just roll around. So I'm going to just trim a little bit off. So now I have it trimmed. I have a slight foot there. I am going to compress it with one of the soft ribs, and I love these silicone ribs by Mudtools, and that is no product placement. It's just my favorite tool. So I've compressed that, and this area I'm going to be leaving for doing the stopper. I'm going to show you how I cut stoppers in another video, so please check out the link that I'll have at the end of this so you can see my link to cutting stopper holes and what the tricks are for that. So the flipping the spherical thing in the little bowl is my favorite trick. I'm just going to rib along where I had the Giffin Grip, and I had some finger marks from when I picked it up off the wheel as well. So as I rib, I'm just cleaning the rib off as I go, so I'm not spreading things around. Okay, and that's how I trim a little spherical form. Again, that little mini bowl to give that a little bit of support is really quite nice. Now, you can use a chuck for trimming such a thing, but you can't really use a chuck that you've thrown with wet clay with the Giffin Grip. You could use a little pre-fired chuck, but basically my mini is a chuck when I'm doing that. So that's how you trim that, and just click on the next video that I have for how to make stopper holes if you'd like to see that.